to arrive.
There we go.
Just let me move my camera so my head's in the shot. There we go.
Yeah.
I hope you paid your internet bill this week.
Yes, indeed.
Excellent, excellent. Well, appreciate folks coming in. And welcome to my co-host, the awesome Lone Star Keto Girl, who I didn't call gal this time, so I learned from last week.
It's all good.
Progress. How you doing today, my dear?
I'm doing great. You?
Oh, I'm having a great day. It's been crazy busy. Everybody else is going,
me too.
Oh, it's Friday. And I've been like, geez, this Friday's been a lot of work.
Mine too. But now it's fun from here on out, so it's all good.
That's good. It's party time.
Yes.
I know you're going to have a good time tonight. You are going to go dancing, aren't you?
Well, actually, we're going to take the pontoon boat out tomorrow, and it's like an all-day thing, so we're just going to take it easy tonight.
You're going to rest and exercise.
Yeah. We're still going to go out, but, not go dancing.
Oh, okay. Early night home.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Well, I hope the weather's great and you'll have a great time on the boat.
Oh, me too. It's been raining a lot here.
Take lots of pictures.
Of course.
Because you're one of those women, this has nothing to do with carnivory or anything, but I bet you paint your toenails, which to me as a guy, I have never, look at those toenails. Those are lovely. It's just never been my thing.
I don't know. If you've seen some people's toenails, you might, I've seen some that really needed some polish on them. So, yeah, I'm not going to be that person. So, yes, I have red toenail polish on right now. Doesn't match my nails, but hey.
Well, hey, you painted your grandbaby's toenails the other day. I thought that was...
My daughter did that. Aren't they so cute?
My daughter did that. That was funny. I enjoyed that. So, in the world of diet, life, carnivory, how art thou?
Oh, great. Pretty
Awesome.
Great.
Pretty great. Excellent.
Yeah.
So have you crossed your 90 days yet?
No, I'm at day, I think it's 88.
88.
So, yeah.
So does it seem like it's been that long to you yet? Does it seem like it's been 88 days?
Not really. I mean, I really haven't had any issues with the eating portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would, but I really haven't. I've noticed so much improvement in stomach issues that I didn't even know I had, that I don't really care about going back to eating lots of vegetables and all that. So far, so good.
That's just one thing about this way of eating that's just so amazing. And I experienced it as well. I know we like to talk about our differences, but we have some similarities that are very good for everybody to know about. I didn't know that I suffered from joint pain. And then 10 days into it, I woke up and it was gone. And, geez, that was better than winning the lottery, I think, because I can move around and nothing ever hurts.
Absolutely. And you get so used to feeling a certain way that becomes the new normal. So you don't really know you have those issues until you don't. And then you wake up one day and you're like, wait a minute, I kind of feel good. Wait a minute. Is this what you're really supposed to feel like?
Yeah.
So, I can't really imagine going back to eating lots of fiber. It is just really not my friend.
I have taken it upon myself every other day to announce on my social media how many days it's been since I had any dietary fiber. Like today is day 326, 326 days since I last consumed any dietary fiber. I slacked today. I've only walked a mile because I've been busy doing media stuff. People aren't going to ask you questions while you're holding up a cell phone, bouncing up and down in front of your face, walking down the street. But I felt amazing. I walked, Tuesday I walked 6 miles. And yesterday I slacked a little from that and only walked 5. I feel great. No dietary fiber. Think about that. We were lied to our entire lives. Dietary fiber is essential, Amber. You could die of constipation. It could literally start coming out your ears if you don't eat fiber, and you don't want that happening. because that would look horrible on your resume.
Yeah, not good.
I mean, it's just mind-boggling, and we don't need it. You feel better since you gave up fiber.
I really do. I kind of had a clue that maybe fiber wasn't the best thing for me. One time I added some flax seeds to a shake, or I don't know, something stupid, way before I was ever keto or anything, because I thought it was supposed to be good. I was in so much pain, I can't even tell you. And then I just thought, oh, it's just, because of flax. I can't have flax. But I've come to realize that it's just fiber. Any excess fiber, any additional fiber than what I was already getting was killing me. I couldn't stand it. I mean, it really hurt me. But
something I haven't gotten a chance to talk about a lot in the interviews I've done to date due to time, and you want to be brief as you can and still get the main parts of your story out. There was a period there when I was first diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and I read somewhere that cashews provided folate, and that would be of an assistance to my situation, because I also knew from a DNA test that my liver wasn't producing enough folate for my brain to make serotonin with.
yeah.
Another reason why I was in La La Land. So I start consuming these big things of cashews, these big jugs of it every couple of weeks. And I thought I was doing myself right.
Right.
And I started experiencing the worst lower intestinal agony. I never had problems there before.
I understand.
It only happened like 4 times. And the last 2 times it was so bad, I was literally on my knees waiting to pass out in the floor. And I remember, and I had to go take a half of one of my wife's arthritis pain pills. She had some Percocets, and I hate that stuff with a passion. Half of one of those, and I'm ruined for the rest of the day. Just useless.
That's the way I am.
I wanted to be useless versus hurting that bad. But interestingly enough, after I eliminated the cashews, and I was also chugging away sunflower seeds really hard at this. This is all pre-carnivory. This is when I'm low carb. I'm learning. I am completely ignorant about all of this at the time.
Yep.
And I'm feeding my face full of sunflower seeds because I read that those were good for me too. All of that pain, all of my digestive issues vanished after carnivory. I also was one of those purchasers. I probably paid for 5 or 6 vacations for some antacid executive, because I used to get, go to the big box store and get the double package of the 250 count bottles of the 10 trillion milligrams of calcium.
I did that with Nexium. I mean, it was bad.
Wow. Don't miss it, do you?
No. It is so nice not worrying about if I'm going to be able to lay down, because the acid's all coming back up into my throat and my mouth, and just being able to eat. Of course, I basically only eat meat anyway, so but not worrying about that. I used to have to, oh gosh, that's spicy food, that's going to kill me later, I better not eat that. Or, ooh, that's kind of acidic, that's going to kill me later, can't eat that. And that was just a real drag. But, now I don't have to worry about it at all. It's great.
It's interesting because I was a worrier. When I was sick, I worried and suffering from anxiety, and with depression, you worry constantly. And if you're not worrying, you're spouting off something delusional or crazy. So you're doing one of those things or crying, one of those things. It was not fun. I don't recommend it. But you worried about food-related things, it sounds like.
Yes.
See,
Very
I
much
never
so.
worried about food. I didn't worry about food at all. I worried about other things, like if my wife went to work and she didn't send me a text message letting me know she made it all right, then then the depression monster would start running with it. And, what am I going to do by myself? What if something happened to her? you
Yeah,
know.
I didn't really have that.
That's how, well, see, you weren't suffering from depression. You were
No,
just
not like that.
not like that. It's
No,
very
no,
different.
definitely not anxiety. I mean, I
Hmm.
had depression, but it wasn't like the what clinical or whatever you want to say. I was emotionally depressed.
Very
So,
different.
yeah.
That's more of a psychological situation. And based on what Dr. Paul Saladino said and others have said and written since, it would appear that something from outside my brain in my body caused my brain to become inflamed. Probably some of those lovely oxalates and lectins that were in all
Oxalates,
those
yes.
cashews and all
Uh,
those medicines they gave me for all those years. And there was an interesting podcast released this week by Sean Baker on Human Performance Outliers. I can't remember the lady's last name. She's Dr. Jill. I can't remember your last name, Dr. Jill,
mm,
but she's a psychiatrist in Oregon, and she describes the antidepressants, the antipsychotics, the mood stabilizers that they give as what was the word, metabolically incompatible.
oh,
Something to
wow.
that effect. That basically the medicines, as they're designed, they wreck our metabolism.
Mm,
And I know
I can understand.
I gained an enormous amount of weight when I was taking that garbage.
Mm,
Not good times. So
no,
we
I hate
differ.
medicine. Ugh.
We differ in the ways we're miserable, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure. Uh,
You were also. I was never a foodie. I married a foodie,
yes. Food
and
was my
I
life, I'll be honest. I revolved
and
everything around food.
now, how has that changed since you became? Now, as you went into keto, did that change over time, or has
Oh,
it
yeah.
changed for you since you became carnivorous?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like I said, I revolved my whole life around food. I was either cooking, I was waiting for my next meal. When we went out, the thing that gave me pleasure was going out to eat. And so that's what we did. We went out to eat, and then we usually go see a movie. And once I started keto, within the first week, I'm not even kidding you, that feeling kind of went away, and I didn't feel like I was so connected to food that I just could not live without it. My cravings kind of faded, and it just got better and better. Now, now when I switched over to carnivore, I guess at first I was kind of hungry, and so I still kind of thought about food a little bit, but I didn't really crave. And now I don't even really, to be honest, care about food. It's not central to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to go out to eat and I like somebody to wait on me for a change because it's usually me waiting on everybody else. So I enjoy that aspect and I enjoy somebody cooking for me for a change. And so I do enjoy it. And I usually get like a steak or beef fajitas, something like that. So I enjoy my food. That's not that. It's just that I don't like dream about it. I mean, I seriously used to be a food addict. It was bad. And it gave me comfort. It gave me whatever. I don't even know. But yeah, it just revolved around everything. And now I can't even tell you. It's just one of these, food. Yeah, I know I need it. And I guess it's more of a uh, nutrient thing, like you need to eat to survive more so than eating strictly for pleasure, which is what I used to do. And even on keto, I still had a lot of pleasure in my food, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing by any means. I mean, you should
Hmm.
have pleasure in your food. You do. I don't have the same reaction that you do now. It's kind of like everything has been dulled. But for somebody who is so addicted like me, it, to me, it's liberating. I like that feeling. I guess I could compare it maybe like to an alcoholic who is like, okay, alcohol, I'm cool with it. I don't need it. I'm good. I just do what I need to do. Of course, they don't have any alcohol, but, I still have to eat to survive. But it's just not the same. And some people may find that kind of sad, but for me, it's the best thing for me, I really think, because now I can just be free from food. and live my life and do what really matters. Like, going out dancing, going out on a pontoon boat, enjoying, different things with my family, not worried about, ooh, when's my next meal? Ooh, what am I going to have? Ooh, I can't wait till we stop and I can eat, Seriously, it was that bad. So,
I can remember there would be favorites of mine in the refrigerator, be it ice cream, or it could be the big triple layered coconut cream cake sitting on that came from Sam's that was about yay big
Yeah.
around and
Yep,
that I
yep,
could
yep.
go through in 2 days. And that cake, me knowing that cake was in there, it was always in the man's cake.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
I even hid food.
I'll
I hid food
I
in
never did
places.
that. I never
Oh,
did
I
that.
did.
I never
did.
hid food. I didn't care. I
No.
was I was never secretive about it. I'm going to eat this because that's what I want to do, because I'm a sugar addict and I was depressed. And it was the only time I felt kind of okay is when I was feeding my face full of garbage.
Oh, I get it.
And so I tried to eat every coconut cake Sam's ever baked. I tried to eat them all, I think. Don't miss any of that.
Yeah.
I get tickled. Well, I don't get tickled. That's maybe the wrong word. I'm actually puzzled because I run across people periodically. You may encounter this as well, who've gotten away from all their poisons. They've gone carnivorous or they've gone keto, and they've gotten their poisons completely away. Whatever goals they were wanting to achieve health-wise, they've reached. Whatever ailment they wanted to kick to the curb, they have. And then they go on vacation, or they go to their brother-in-law's Christmas party, birthday party, and then they acquiesce to either social pressure, or they think, just one little cupcake's not going to make any difference.
Yeah.
And then they wake up the next morning and they've been on, it may not even be the next morning, it may be 5 days later, and they realize that for one person it was alcohol, another person it was cake, and they're just shredded. They're like a physical wreck. It's like they never stopped eating the garbage in the first place almost.
Yeah. There's a lot of people like that.
And intellectually, I don't get that. If you're free, you're truly liberated. What do you need? What do you need that for?
Yeah. I'm kind of to that point, where I don't care. It can be in my face. I don't care. Cupcakes, whatever, even holidays. I never cheated on holidays. I mean, granted, when I was keto, this will be my first Christmas if I continue carnivore, which I plan on it. It will be my first holidays where I'm not keto. For 2 years. And I would eat a dessert, keto-made dessert, and I would make keto food. And that's not a cheat for me because it all incorporated into my plan. I didn't need to. I was completely satisfied. I didn't feel deprived. There was no need to it. But now I don't care. I mean, you can, put it in my face. Now, if I'm starving, that might be a different story because, when you're hungry enough, anything probably looks good. But if I don't allow myself to ever get that hungry, which I never get that hungry anymore, then there's not an issue. I just don't care. Bread, whatever, it doesn't matter. So
I just honestly can't conceive of a scenario short of the zombie apocalypse actually coming to pass that I would ever be so desperate is that I would eat something non-optimal ever again.
Yeah.
Now there's a chance the sky's about to open up on us here in Florida. So usually the power doesn't go out, but sometimes it does. So if I get all locked up screen-wise, it might not be your fault today. It could be North Florida stormland. It's June. It's been in the 90s. It's humid enough to where you could cut the air with it, or just sip the air with a straw. And so hopefully the power will stay on. So we talked about foodies. I just was never a foodie. I love food. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if somebody said, "Oh, how about pizza?" Sure. Yeah, I love, the things I liked. Yeah, let's have some. That's great. And I could eat it 2 or 3 nights in a row. Of course, everybody else is like, after the first night, okay, that's enough for this month. I don't need any more of that heartburn. Not me. If I loved something, I could eat it all the time.
What do you mean, the 5 things that you would eat?
Yeah, the 5 things.
Danielle told me. Yep. I know all about that.
Okay, we got a question here I don't want to miss. Hi, guys. I have an underactive thyroid and told I have a fatty liver also. I love to do carnivore, but worried about how this would affect my liver. Thanks. Okay, first off, keep in mind, we are not medical professionals. We do not give medical advice, all right? So this is just a suggestion. First off, if you haven't done it, go to meheals.com and read the testimonials. I know there's some testimonials there from people who've had liver issues, and they've talked about it. If you're not already, if you're on Facebook, join the Zeroing In on Health group, because you got folks there that have been living this way 10 years and more. They're very knowledgeable, very helpful people. They have a lot of information on this, and I have seen them answer this question before, and I'm going to share with you what they shared with the folks who asked this. Eat your meat, drink your water. Your fatty liver will take care of itself, because one of the reasons we get fatty liver is because of the toxins we put into our body when we're eating garbage.
Yep.
Garbage being sugar, carbs, and plants.
Yes.
Okay? You eliminate the garbage, all the things that were causing your liver to be a fatty liver will go away, and your liver will start to heal. Now, this is not scientifically explained. I'm probably leaving out some mechanisms and some steps, but generally that's the advice I've seen given by people who've lived this way a long time. Amber, do you have anything to add?
Well, the only thing I will say is you may not have to go carnivore. You could possibly be just fine on keto. Many, many testimonials with people on keto who have cured their fatty liver. So if you're, freaked out about, oh, I can't eat meat, you can always start with a ketogenic diet and go from there. Because I promise you, on a keto diet, you're not going to be deprived, not if you do it right. And then if it's not healed and you still have issues, maybe you do need to go carnivore. That's the reason why I'm doing it. There was a couple of issues, and plus I wanted to experiment, and so I could talk knowledgeably about it and, have the experience for myself so I can talk about it. So, give keto a try first, see what happens, see if you like that, see if that's something you can live with, because you do need to change your lifestyle, no doubt about that. And, if it doesn't clear up, try carnivore. I mean, what have you got to lose?
Excellent, excellent. I agree completely. Appreciate you folks coming in here and hanging with us. If anybody else has questions, feel free to ask. That's one of the reasons why we're using the Instagram live format to do these with. Because hey, how you doing, Aunt? It's good to see you. Because interaction helps keep, I think, a more positive, fluid conversation. It's much more natural and organic. Yeah. Natalie, you're very welcome. I hope it works for you. And please let us know how you're doing from time to time.
Yeah, okay? Please update us. And if you have any questions, contact either one of us.
Yeah, be happy to help out. Which I'm going to take a moment to make a little announcement. Okay, Amber's unaware of this. Her eyes might drop, her jaw might. She might go, "Oh my God, no!" I don't know what she's going to do. We're going to find out. Oh,
you better not bring that up.
I'm going to bring up something you're completely unaware of.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. Okay. You know where I was going with that.
You can tell me what it was. You better not bring that up.
I think you know.
Well, it could be 2 or 3 things. Anyway, starting next month, on my webpage, my artlife.us webpage, where people can go and get our T-shirts and everything, Fat Fueled at 40. That's cool. That's awesome. You're doing well. Thanks for sharing that. I'm going to be offering a consult service for folks who have questions and they want more specific information than they're comfortable with giving on a social media platform. They're going to be able to make appointments
Yay.
with me, and we got to charge a little something because the web space and the consult calendar and all that stuff costs money, and it takes time to put together. But we're going to only go to, other people are charging $100 and $125. No. And they want to talk to you for an hour, 2 or 3 times a week. No, you don't need to talk to me that much. Just a half hour. We're going to charge $25. And we're going to make sure that you know how I do carnivory, because I get asked about that a lot. Have you been
That's
asked
awesome.
about that much, Amber? Have you been asked by people who are first find out about how you do carnivory?
Well, in a way, because, my base is keto, and I'm, fairly new into carnivory, and I have a lot of my keto people who are like, well, why are you doing carnivore? Well, what's that like? Well, what do you eat? Do you really just eat meat? So I get those kind of questions. I don't necessarily get the type of questions you get, but mine is more like, why change? Kind of questions. So.
Okay, we got a great question from Vic Cosmetics. They started carnivore June 1st. When will my energy come back? I seem so tired on carnivore, and I didn't feel this way on keto.
Whoa. We just talked about that yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we've talked about it a time or two lately, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you share your experience with this first, and then I'll jump in at the end with some suggestions and advice that I picked up along the way.
Perfect. Okay, coming from keto, I was pretty energetic. I'll just tell you, I had lots of energy, great moods, all that kind of stuff. And then I started on carnivore, and it was fine. The first couple of weeks, I didn't have any issues, really. It was fine. And then I started feeling really hungry, which was something I haven't felt in almost 2 years. I didn't even know what hunger was anymore, really, because I just never got hungry. And so that was kind of disturbing to me. But, Brett kept saying, no, it's just part of the healing phase. Don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing, it'll go away. And I thought, well, I'm going to up my fat just a little. I'm talking just a little. And that seemed to do the trick. Then the next thing you know, I wasn't hungry at all. I could hardly even make myself eat. I just didn't care about food at all. And that was kind of interesting, which for me, I didn't really care, to be honest, but it did bother me. Then all of a sudden I started getting really tired, and I had been keeping my grandbaby, so I was getting up earlier than what I normally do. I'm not a morning person. I like to sleep in a little bit and stay up a little later. So, and I have to have my 8 hours of sleep. I'm one of those people, if I don't, I go into a depression and I start acting really goofy and almost like I'm drunk, not making sense and stuff. Anyway, so I needed my sleep. So I thought, well, maybe that's part of it. Maybe I just wasn't getting my sleep. And then the last week or so, I haven't kept my grandbaby because my daughter's now off for the summer, so she has the baby, and I'm still feeling kind of tired, and I'm like, crud, I don't really know what's going on here. And I was taking supplements during part of that time of feeling tired, and I've recently stopped taking everything just to clear my body and to see what happens. So it wasn't the supplements that I'm lacking something, I don't think, because I didn't feel any different either way. So I'm still struggling with the being a little lack of energy. And so I'm kind of sticking with it because I do believe that it's just my body trying to adapt and trying to heal itself. And you got to give it time. You got to have, oh God, the P word, patience, my favorite word. But I am dealing with the same thing, so I get where you're coming from. But everything I've read and what Brett has told me, just keep doing what you're doing and make sure when you are hungry, you are eating, and you're eating meat specifically. I've given up eggs and heavy cream and all the dairy stuff for now, just to see what happens with my body. I've been doing that about a month now. And so we'll see what happens with that. But you're not the only one. And I do believe it's just part of the process. And if you're really metabolically messed up, and I'm pretty sure I was to a degree. I mean, I was pre-diabetic and all this other stuff prior to keto. So I probably do have healing to do. And if you're one of those people, it may take a little bit longer for you. So just hang in there, do what you need to do. And, you know, I don't know. Personally, I did feel a little better when I would added just a little bit of fat. I'm talking a tablespoon of butter extra a day. That's it. Maybe you want to try that. I don't know. I mean, some people will say, no, you don't up your fat. You just keep eating meat. But I did, and I felt better. And I'm kind of starting to do just a little bit of that again to see if that does actually make a difference. Anyway. Okay, Brett, your turn.
It's great. I think you explained yourself very well there. And I would add that, because I asked Amber to ask the people, the veterans of this way of eating who've been doing this at Zeroing In on Health for over 10 years, this question. Because, you know, women respond to adaptation very differently, it seems, than a lot of us guys do.
Yeah.
So it's very different. And there's hormonal considerations for women that us guys don't have. And, you know, you're at age 53, so it could have been a number of things at play. We still don't know.
Right.
But the advice you got, and I agree with it, was this is mainly just adaptation. And for the person in chat who was asking this question originally, you're only 6-7 days in. Your body is just now starting to go from being a sugar-burning machine to a fat-burning machine. Now, for me, I didn't really have an energy problem. I was a little uncomfortable the first couple of weeks. I had a lot of gas and loose stool showed up immediately. And I had loose stool. Now, people need to make a distinction. I got to use the D word. I got to say diarrhea. There's a difference. Diarrhea is bacteria caused bacteria or I don't want to say worm, that's not the right, or some other, what's the right word I'm looking for?
I'm not sure where you're going.
Well, it's parasite. Parasites can cause diarrhea too. I knew there was the right word there. I just had to float through my dictionary and find it. Anyway, loose stool is not diarrhea. It's something very different. And it has to do with how your body's breaking down fat. Mm-hmm. So it took me 5 months to become fully fat adapted. Wow. True detoxing? Y'all, there's detoxing going on. Am I going to describe it? Not accurately. Because I'm a guitar player. We're not medical professionals. We're just people who've experienced great healing by changing the way we eat. And that's part of why we're doing this. But stick with it. I mean, you're 6 or 7 days into it. Yeah, parasitic. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for, parasitic. Right on the money. I knew somebody'd figure it out. We got smart listeners. Appreciate it. I hope that helped, Vic. Listen, the big thing is don't panic. Trust your body. The first few weeks, you're going to be tired and a little sluggish, okay? I don't know what diet you came from. See, I was very low carb when I started this. Well, we appreciate you too, Vic. I was very low carb. So my adaptation was comparatively easy to a lot of people who came straight from the SAD diet. That's why I always recommend do low carb for 30 days.
Agree.
Then jump on the carnivore train and see what happens.
Yes.
Okay, we got a little less than a half hour to go. That was a great question, Vic. And if anybody else has any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
I want to add one more thing just to be aware of. Sometimes when you're on carnivore, women specifically, you can gain a little bit of fat weight for a little while. It's kind of one of those things. I've seen where that's very common and natural. You know, it's okay. It's going to go away if you stick with it and you do what you know you're supposed to be doing. So I've kind of had that. I had a couple of pounds come on, and I'm like, oh my God, because for me, gaining back the weight is just horrifying. So it's kind of a mental thing, but I'm trusting the process. I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not, you know, eating junk and carbs or anything like that. The worst thing I do, which Brett, you know, is have a bang, you know. But
I didn't have to
so
bring it up. I didn't have to bring it up. You brought it up for me.
bang. But you know, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing for the most part, and so I'm not freaking out yet, kind of. Maybe. I'm just trying to be patient and let my body do what it needs to do. My body's got healing to do. I know it does. It still does. So I'm being patient, and I'm just going to roll with it. It just kind of sucks that it's, you know, summertime, because I wanted like a rockin' body, bikini body. Well, as rockin' as I'm going to get at 53. And, you know, but it may not happen until, you know, October when we go on our cruise. And you know what? That's okay. I'm okay with that. It's not a race. It's, you know, life. So
I can tell you that at 60 years old, my wife is bikini ready right now.
yeah,
She
Danielle's looking
is,
pretty hot.
I mean, she looks better she looks just incredible. I hate to say she looks better than she did when I met her, because she was beautiful when I met her. She's been beautiful all along. But now, because her skin is starting to get that what I call the carnivore glow,
Glow.
that healthiness, she looks even more phenomenal to me. Okay, we got another question. Do you feel you will influence older generations about getting their health together? Both generations. Okay.
Gosh, we
That's
hope.
a great question. Because I have a family story that I'll share. My dad's 81 years old. He's suffering from type 2 diabetes, and it's killing him. It's literally killing him. He's had a lot of hospital visits the last couple months, and each time he's come out of the hospital, he's had a harder and harder time. But he seems to have responded well to some of the new meds they gave him, and the weather's improved to where he could get outside and move around a little bit. So he's doing better. He's not completely out of the woods yet, but he's doing a lot better. And he's going to see me for the first time sane and as a carnivore I fly out the 19th of June. So we're less than 3 weeks away.
That's exciting.
And so I'm excited about that. And hopefully I can talk to him and show him some things. But he's 81. And if you've dealt with people in their 80s, their minds are very hard to change.
Very set, yes. Mm-hmm.
So, and his doctor, to my knowledge, at no time has ever suggested to him that his type 2 diabetes could be reversed. And he's had some early stage dementia symptoms appear, and he's had some kidney problems appear. So,
Nerve damage?
I think it's a combination of lifelong toxicity. I mean, you know, you poison yourself for 80 years unknowingly, naturally.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's grown this enormous garden year after year, prided himself on having fresh vegetables year round.
Right.
And him and my mom ate them religiously. They used to have the greatest tomatoes in that part of town. I'm telling you, people would come from all over to get some of his green beans and tomatoes. But you know, just knowing what we know now, it's a miracle that he's lived as long as he has, in my opinion. I mean, in all honesty, it really is. And if he'd been carnivorous for the last 20 years instead of giving himself insulin shots 2 or 3 times a day, who knows how great a health he'd be in.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. That's my experience with
Good
it.
luck.
What do you have to add to that, Dan?
You know, the same kind of thing. I think, especially for the older generation, when you do something so drastic, specifically carnivore, I mean, you know, that's pretty, you know, extreme on that end. People look at you like you're a fanatic. and that you're ridiculous. And oh my God, you cut out a whole food group. Holy cow,
Crazy.
and so, even the older generation, of course, like you said, they're very set in their ways. And like I see my dad, who he's had a heart attack and he has, high cholesterol. He's on statins, or he was. I assume he still is. And it just breaks my heart because I know that if he would just do carnivore, and he can pretty much have what he likes. That's the thing. And most of the stuff, with the exception of potatoes, that's what he eats. He's not a big fan of, greens or anything like that. So he could have his bacon and his eggs. He could have, his steaks and his, fajitas and all that. It just, of course, not the tortilla. But because, we kind of get painted as fanatics, it's hard to accept, especially when you've been told something for so long that no, it's, eggs are not good, bacon, you shouldn't eat that, you should eat lots of veggies and, all that. So it's very difficult. And like you said, when they're set in their way, they're set in their way. Goodness gracious. So yeah, I've had kind of similar issues like that too. And not that I've tried to, you need to change your way of eating. I try to be an example and show that it is healthy and that, you can make those changes and feel good, and you don't have to believe everything that you see on TV and, what so-called experts say you're supposed to eat, so.
Yeah, it's really been frustrating because my parents have not experienced me as I am now. They only their memories of me are of crazy son, crazy Brett. They don't have any first person experience with me as I am now. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic just to seeing how they react to me not being sick and
That's
being
awesome.
116 pounds thinner than I was than they knew me for years and
Do
years.
they have
But
no clue at all? Do they not know verbally? I mean, without having actually seen you?
oh,
Have you told them
I've
anything?
seen them pictures, and
Oh, okay,
they know
good.
what I've been doing, and they,
Okay.
my mom's happy I'm better, and my
Yeah.
dad's reasonably glad that things he still thinks I'm probably. I don't know what he thinks. We haven't talked about it, to be honest, but she's cautiously optimistic. Yeah, I can tell that she's like, well, this seems like you're doing really good and you sound amazing, so I'm really happy about that. But you could still hear in the back of her in her voice,
Uh-huh.
like, I'm not so sure
Right.
yet. And
Yep.
that's a normal human thing. That's a normal
Yeah.
human behavior. Until we, when you're used to dealing with somebody only in a certain way because of they're sick or whatever, then that's just normal for you to expect that. And they've not experienced a sane
Yeah.
Brett yet, or moderately. That's why I'm reluctant to say
I
sane.
was going to go there, but yeah. Yeah.
As I am now is probably a more accurate representation. But, he'll either accept what I have to say or he won't. If he
Right.
doesn't, he's the one who unfortunately will bear the weight of his decision, not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I'll be sad for him if he rejects the notion, but I'm not going to feel bad about it
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I
what
understand.
would be the point?
Yeah. That's just it. You
And I
can
want to
lead a
bring
horse
up
to water.
something. I want to bring up
Uh-oh.
something similar to this, but actually in a different vein, because I got to experience something yesterday that I hadn't experienced since I got better. And that was genuine frustration over something I couldn't fix. Let me give you a quick story.
Okay.
I made a mistake, or the Periscope app messed up yesterday. Probably was me, could have been the app, don't know. And I didn't save my daily Periscope to my camera roll, but I had shared it on Twitter. So I had to jump through some crazy hoops. And as people
Mm-hmm.
know who follow me,
Yes.
I post my Periscope not just on Instagram TV, but I also have a little YouTube channel I post it to. So I was able to get it to the YouTube channel, but I was completely helpless and unsuccessful at uploading it to Instagram TV yesterday. Now, when I was sick, that would have ruined the whole day
Mm-hmm.
immediately. That day would have I would have spent the rest of my
I
day
get it.
either in a fury or sleeping off the Ativan that I had to take to calm the hell down.
I get it.
But yesterday, I mean, it was frustrating, but I didn't get angry. There was no fist slamming on the desk, which this desk is actually a glass top desk. And the fact that I haven't driven my fist through with glass over the years is just really remarkable, because when would get angry, I mean, I was like nuts. I would pound things and yell and holler and carry on. I just kind of grinned through it all. Well, this sucks, but oh well. And life went on.
I think we might have had questions, I think.
Okay, let me scroll. Okay, I may give somebody a heart attack. Okay, I hope not. I hope I don't give my parents a heart attack.
Your parents, yeah.
No, let's see. My dad is 80, type 2 diabetes, same thing, won't listen. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, you got to keep trying. You don't ever give up. I don't see another question.
Okay, I was just making sure.
That's okay. It's all right. It's what we're here for, darling. If you think you see a question and I miss it, you need to let me know. And that's why this is practice. And hey, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us.
Yes, thank y'all so much.
Listening from day one. If we start doing this a couple of times a week, do you all think this is something you'd be interested in watching on a regular basis? That's my question to the chat. Answer as you wish. There are no wrong answers. You're not going to offend us, I promise.
Okay, maybe a little.
Nah, I'm literally 100% unoffendable.
Oh, I'll work on that.
Why do I think older generations are hard-headed? I just think it's we get locked into a routine. And as we get older, deviations from that routine, and this is well known for geriatric studies. When an older person's routine gets disrupted, that's not a little thing. It's a big deal. It really messes with the elderly severely. Messes with their sleep, messes with their mood, the whole 9 yards. So that's one of the big reasons. As for the rest of it, I would seek out somebody who works with geriatric patients on a regular basis and quiz them.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is just after years and years and years and years of being believing in something, it being reinforced all those years that this is how you do it, this is how you do it. If you hear it enough times, it becomes the truth, and the truth is the truth. You're not gonna, nobody can, change your mind on that. Sometimes even if it's like literally in front of their face and you show them with physical evidence, they're still like, oh, no, that's wrong. So it's just one of those reinforced things over and over again. I mean,
yeah, it's true. And I run into this also with the cannabis issue, because I still have people who, you aren't really doing what you say you're doing. You can't be using cannabis and functioning that well. You can't be doing your talks and interviews, and there it's impossible. Well, no, it's not, because I use it every day. I'm medicated. Every time you see me on camera, anywhere, I'm medicated. I'm medicated right now. Amber knows this. This is not a secret. This is not a shocking revelation. Nope. And you want me medicated because I become an obnoxious, I'm in a good mood the whole time, but I'm an obnoxious, hypercritical jerk that you don't want to see. And for reasons that are unbeknownst to me, I'd love to know why, but cannabis makes that all melt away. And I'm who I am, really, truly, who I've always wanted to be. The happy, That's silly, awesome. Goofy man.
And you do it well.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, we got 11 minutes left. Let's see. What would we like to talk about? Philly's letter. If y'all have any more questions, now's the best time, because usually the last 15 to 20 minutes, we really want questions a lot. Amber's trying to read.
Yeah. I'm like, what is that little green thing?
That is, I believe that's his response to me saying cannabis.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And the hearts just flew up, so I think we nailed that.
Must be right. Okay.
Question answered successfully. Now in June, I've got my reunion coming up, and I think that we're going to start doing these 1 day a week for sure. And then after we get in the groove, maybe 2 days a week, because we want people like you folks in chat to ask us these kinds of questions.
Yes.
We're not just going to come out and share our, what'd you do today? Oh, I had a steak and some bacon. What'd you
I changed
have?
dirty diapers.
Yeah, I changed dirty diapers and thought about bacon all day too. Does that make me, we're not going to have those kinds of discussions. We're going to talk about issues that we're experiencing, but we want to hear from you folks. And that's one of the reasons why we want to do this on Instagram Live. And then we'll upload it to the other, to YouTube and other places. And we'll let you know where those links are. So in case you want to review it, or if you want to comment further, you're going to be able to. So that's kind of what's in the works. We got 10 minutes left, my dear. Tell me, I know you have animals, domesticated critters.
Yes, I do.
It's how the gentry call it. I have domesticated critters here. Since you've become carnivore, has anything changed for your animals?
I would like for it to change, to be honest with you. I feel like animals should be on a carnivore diet. Hello, they're animals. And, we've found that the best kind of dry food that you can get for an animal, but it's still filled with things that I'm like, why? And I don't really like that. And my dogs are getting older, and it makes me feel bad. And we lost our Golden a couple of years ago, and that was heartbreaking. And I feel like maybe if she would have been on a more of a carnivore diet, maybe she would have lasted a little longer. Maybe she wouldn't have had the tumor that killed her. And, it's just those things that go through my mind. And, some of the worry is expensive. It's, can get pricey when you have, big dogs. And we have 2 big dogs left. But like when my husband would process a deer, he would save the pieces that he cuts off and cook them for the dogs. And they love that. But because I guess they're so used to eating the dry dog food that it kind of gave them diarrhea. And so we have to deal with that at night all over the floor and stuff. And so my husband is not just real keen on that. And he's like, it just messes with their stomach, which, yeah, it does, because they've been eating that other crap. As like with any diet you change, your gut biome has to, adapt. And I don't know, but I think I may take your advice and check out some of the canned dog food at Walmart and see if I can't find him like what you have, and see about giving that to our dogs. And one of our dogs has like gained a lot of weight lately, and I don't know why. So
I'll try to remember to take a picture of one of the cans of that and share it with you. We do have a question in here, and that was a great answer, and I'll tell you about what we're doing with our dog if there's time left. Natalie I can't say it. Natalie something. What do you both eat in a typical day? Is it all meats or just steak and bacon? So Amber, you go first.
Okay. Usually I don't eat breakfast. I'll be honest. I'm just not hungry. And anywhere between 11 and 1 o'clock, I'll eat lunch. And I'll have 5 to 7 pieces of bacon and about an 8-ounce burger that's usually made from either beef, venison, lamb, or Wagyu or bison. I love bison. And I'll make a combination of that, usually venison and bison, or venison and Wagyu, whatever. And I love that. And that's what I have. And then for dinner, I pretty much have the same thing, but occasionally, I'll have steak, or I'll have fajita beef meat. I'll have 2 meats. Basically, what I'm saying is I have 2 meats. Usually at lunch, it's bacon and a meat. And then at dinner, it's usually 2 meats. And if we go out, I specifically ask no sides, but could I have some bacon? So I'll have like a steak and bacon. And that's pretty much what I have, really. And I will drink water. I do drink hint, and, my one thing. Okay, your turn.
That shall not be mentioned again today. See, when I first started carnivory, I was steak and eggs. And then after a couple of weeks, the eggs no longer there was no there for me anymore. They still looked good. They tasted great, but they weren't satisfying. So then I was steak and bacon. But then about 4 months ago, I discovered this 90-10 ground beef. that's very affordable. And I've been just ground beef and bacon. Now, I eat three
Now, why
times a
did you
day.
do the 90-10? Tell them why you picked
Okay, I
that.
saw it in the store. I didn't even know 90-10 ground beef existed, to be honest. I wasn't like a connoisseur or knowledgeable all the different breakdowns of protein to fat that you can get in ground beef. But I saw this tube, and it was just beautiful. Was the prettiest, densest red color that separated it from the other tubes of meat, which just kind of looked like gray goo to me after seeing this. And I just told my wife, I said, honey, we got to buy that. I don't care what it costs. We're buying it. Fortunately, it was only $2.99 a pound for a 10-pound tube of meat. And it has been the most satisfying meat I have ever eaten. And so I eat 8 ounces at lunch and breakfast of that, plus 8 slices of bacon. And then at dinner, I'll have 12 ounces of the ground beef and 8 slices of bacon. And at bedtime, we top it off with a cup of hot homemade bone broth. Okay, we got 4 minutes left. In that that was a great question, Natalie. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
In these 4 minutes, I would like for you to tell everybody where they can get in touch with you if they have any questions for Miss Amber, our Lone Star Keto Girl.
Yeah, my on Instagram, it's Lone Star Keto Girl. And on Twitter, it's it's underscore. Lone_star_keto. Lone Star Keto. And I also have a website that is lone-star-keto.com. That's where I got the confusion.
So you need to know Morse code to find where Amber's web stuff is.
Yeah, apparently.
That's cool. And her website's very well done, too, by the way. She did that herself. And she's not trained in HTML. She's taught me.
Oh, so not technical.
So that's a very impressive website. I encourage all of you to go with. And you can catch me at thankful.carnivore. You can catch me on Twitter at stickmanbleeding. That's STICKMANBLEEDIN. Don't add the G. You won't get there. And I have a Thankful Carnivore Facebook page that is up and running now. And that's where folks can also see links to our web store. And you can also, at my Thankful Carnivore page, you can get my, there you go. We're matching, except in colors.
Oh, okay. We're so dorks.
And people, we did not plan this. We did not plan this.
No.
And everybody enjoyed you standing up and showing yours off a whole lot more than they would have for me doing it. So thank you for that. Anyway, at artlife.us, you'll see the Meaty Teas button there. You just click on that and you can order it, or you can go to my Instagram page and click on the link in my bio. That allows me to focus and spend my time promoting carnivory and sharing what I've learned in my experience. So we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Natalie, for your questions.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you in England and reaching out and spending time with us. And we hope to see you again very soon. Now, we got 2 minutes left. How are we going to fill it? Well, we're going to fill it with silliness. How else would we fill it?
Okay. Well, here. Okay.
There we go. There we go.
That's what I was going to do when I first came on, just to see if it would throw you. But,
just to see if it would shock me, if you could throw me for a loop.
Yeah.
What do you think your chances are? I played in bars for 20-some years. You think you could shock me in any way?
Probably not. Probably not.
If you do, it will be an internet event.
Ooh, challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted, she says. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Listen, we're under 60 seconds. I can't thank everybody in chat enough for hanging around.
Y'all.
Amber, this was great. I think we're off on a good start. We got something promising here, and I'm really encouraged by what we've done today. You all have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Friday. And remember, no matter how bad things are, be thankful.
Absolutely. Bye, y'all.
See you next time. Bye-bye.